Welcome. Today we are going to discuss about the series LCR circuit. We have taken a resistance R, a capacitance C, and an inductor L in series with an alternating source of EMF. Say V equal to V0 sine omega t. Omega is the angular frequency, omega equal to 2 pi by t. T is the time period. So L, C and R, that is the capacitance, resistance and inductor, are connected with an alternating source of voltage, that is V equal to V0 sine omega t. That is the applied voltage, V equal to V0 sine omega t. Take it as equation 1. If small q is the charge on the capacitor and I is the current at any time t, then that is either instantaneous current, then the instantaneous EMF equation is written as L di dt plus the drop across the resistance IR, current I, this is IR, and the drop across the capacitor Q by C equal to the applied voltage V. This is the drop across the inductor, induced back EMF, and this is the drop across the resistance, and Q by C, this is the drop across the capacitor. This is the drop across the capacitor. This drop is across inductor. This is a drop across the resistance, and this is the drop across the capacitance, and this is equal to the total drop equal to the applied voltage. Now the current, as the applied voltage is V equal to V0 sine omega t, that is the angular frequency is omega. We have learned in the case of forced vibration in class 11 that in the steady state the driven system vibrates in the frequency of driver. It forgot about its own frequency and it is bound to vibrate in the frequency of the driver. So this is similar to the case of a forced vibration. Thus the current should oscillate with the frequency of the supply voltage, that is omega. That is the frequency of the current, alternating current, should be omega, angular frequency should be omega in the steady state. Let the current at any time is I equal to I0 sine omega t plus phi. I don't know about what is I0 and phi. I is the peak value I have taken, and phi the phase difference, the phase difference between the current and the voltage. It may be positive or negative. I have taken it as positive. That is equation 2. So this is the current I have taken for this circuit as the instantaneous current. Now on the basis of what we have learned in the previous session, we shall construct a phasor diagram for the present case. Let capital I be the phasor representing the current in the circuit, and further let VL, VR and VC and V represent the voltage across the inductor, capacitor, resistor and the source respectively. From the previous session we know that VR, that is the voltage across the resistance is parallel to current. That is, voltage and current are in same page. Again VC, that is the voltage drop across the capacitor, is pi by 2 behind the current, and VL is pi by 2 ahead the current. VL, VR, VC and I can be drawn in a phasor diagram. If we draw the phasor diagram, I can show you that the phasor, take it, okay. So I have taken the current I equal to, I0 sine omega t plus phi. So first represent the phasor of the current, that is I. So this angle should be omega t plus phi. This angle is omega t plus phi. Now, in the previous session we have learned that the voltage across the resistance is in phase with the current. So this, thus VR should be in the same direction. This is VR, this is VR. Again, the voltage across the inductor was leading the current by a phase angle pi by 2. That is, current was lagging behind the voltage by a phase angle pi by 2. So the voltage across the inductor is leading the current by a phase angle pi by 2. That is, this is VL. And what about VC? VC lags behind the current by a phase angle pi by 2. So this is the current, and VC lags behind the current via phase angle pi by 2. So this is pi by 2, this is pi by 2, and this is VC. Okay. Now, if you this is the amplitude of current, that is I0, and it is the maximum voltage, peak value of the voltage across the resistance. This is the peak value of voltage across the inductor, and this is the peak value. This length gives the amplitude of the peak value, or the peak value of voltage across the capacitor. The length of the phasor, that is basically the length of the phasor or the amplitude of VRVC are given by, that is VR0, agar VR0 equal to I0 into R, V C0, that is the VC0 means the voltage, maximum voltage across the capacitor, is I0 into XC, and VL0, that is the maximum voltage across the inductor, is I0 into XL. The phasor relation between from the phasor relation we can find out the total voltage. That should be the vector sum of the three, that is V, the phasor of the applied voltage, is equal to VR plus VL plus VC. Now, first of all, find the resultant of VL and VC. So we will subtract this portion VL, so it will reduce by some length, this amount. Okay, so now I will draw the next diagram here, as these are the two phases. This is equal to the phasor of I, this is VR. Now the resultant of the two, that is VL and VC, is given by this. So So we should subtract VL from VC, as they are in opposite direction, that is 180 degree out of phase, and it is given by VC plus VL. Remind that this is the vector sum, so I have not taken the minus sign here. So now to find out the total voltage, we have to find out the resultant of VR and VC plus VL, and VC plus VL, resultant of this and this. So we use the parallelogram law to find out the resultant. So this is the resultant of the 2, that is the phasor of the resultant of the 2 should be the phasor of the applied voltage. So this is V, and current was according to my consideration, current was leading the voltage by a phase angle phi, so this is phi, and this angle is omega t, as I have taken the voltage, the phase of the voltage as omega t. Okay, so this angle is omega t and this angle is phi, and the total is omega t plus phi, that is the total angle is omega t plus phi. Okay, now that is the maximum voltage, that is V0, this is the length, that is the V0, this length represent V0. Okay, so what will be the vector sum of the 3? The vector sum of the 3 should be V0 square, V0 square equal to VR0 square plus VC0 minus VL0 whole square. Okay, so V0 square equal to I0 into R, I0 into R whole square plus I0 into XC, I0 into XC minus I0 into XL whole square. That is take I0 common, R square plus XC minus XL whole square. Okay, so V0 equal to this. Now what we are finding out, trying to find out I0, that is I0 equal to V0 by R square plus XC minus XL whole square, R square plus XC minus XL whole square. So here is I0 square, V0 square. So this is there should we use a root, that is I0 equal to V0 by root of this. Again you can see this is current, so this thing should have the dimension of current. V0 is the peak value of voltage, so it has the dimension of voltage, so it should have the dimension of current. Again, this is called the total impedance of the circuit, represented by Z equal to mod Z equal to R square plus XC minus XL whole square whole root. This is called the impedance of the circuit, and this is the peak value of current. This is the peak value of current in the circuit. This is the peak value of current in the circuit at any time. Take it at equation 2. Now see, when the current should be maximum, when it is minimum, as evident from this equation, and if you put the value of XC and XL, that is XC equal to 1 by omega c and xl equal to 1 by omega l. So you can change both the value of xc and xl with changing the angular frequency omega. So by changing, if you adjust the two frequencies in such a way that xc is equal to xl, then for that particular frequency this term will vanish. This term will vanish. If this term vanishes, then the impedance, that is Z, is minimum. That is, the current in the circuit is maximum. The situation is called the series resonance. So what I have said, look at here. If the xc equal to 1 by omega c, again xl equal to omega l. So both xc and xl changes with angular frequency omega. So we can adjust this xc and xl by changing omega. Now, if we adjust the frequency in such a way that xc equal to xl, then z will become xc. If xc equal to xl, then z will become z equal to root of r square minus 0, that is r. That is, the impedance of the circuit is minimum, so the current is maximum, that is I max equal to V0 by Z. The situation is called the resonance, series resonance. So see the condition of series resonance as I have stated. For series resonance, xc is equal to xl. So let the series resonance takes place at a frequency of the driver omega 0, at the angular frequency omega 0. So xc equal to 1 by omega naught c and xl equal to omega naught l. So omega naught square equal to 1 by lc, or omega equal to 1, omega naught equal to 1 by root of lc. This omega naught is called the resonance angular frequency. This omega naught is called the resonance angular frequency, and the resonance frequency is given by omega equal to 2 pi f. Thus f naught equal to omega naught by 2 pi. So this is equal to 1 by 2 pi into 1 by root of lc. This is the linear frequency. This is the linear frequency corresponds to resonance. That is, this is the resonance frequency. Okay, so at resonance, what is the phase difference between the current and voltage? Now see what is the phase difference. In this case, here in this diagram, this is phi. This angle is 90 degree. This angle is, why this angle is 90 degree? This is 90, so this should be 90. Then tan phi, what is this length? I0 into xc minus I0 into xl divided by, this is perpendicular by hypotenuse, divided by VR. VR means this is the maximum length of VR. Maximum length of VR means I0 into R. That is, look at here, maximum, that is the amplitude. VR0 is I0 into R, VC equal to I0 into XC, VL equal to I0 into XL. So this length is this length is VC0, that is I0 XC minus I0 XL, and this length is I0 into R. And tan phi equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse. So we have tan phi equal to xc minus xl by R. So if xc equal to xl, so if xc equal to xl, that is at resonance, tan phi equal to 0 implies phi equal to 0. So there is no phase difference between the current and voltage at resonance. The phase difference between the voltage and current is 0, and the Current at resonance is given by I0 max equal to I0 max equal to V0 by R. Only V0 by R. Okay. So if you want to draw the phasor diagram here, you can draw for any instantaneous case, as we have taken here. At any instantaneous time, this is the phasor of the voltage, that is V. V is at an angle omega t, and it is the phasor of the current. So this angle should be phi, as the current was leading the voltage by a phase angle. This is omega t, this is phi. So this is total angle is omega t plus phi, and you can see the variation here. The voltage, the peak value of voltage, and the current can be represented as and the current is given by, it is for some case it was lagging the it was leading the voltage by a phase angle phi. Okay, so this is the difference between, that is I0, and this is V0. So, and we have plotted here omega t, and this is pi, and this is 2 pi. Okay, that's all for today. So thank you for watching this video, and again we will discuss in our next session about the power factor, that is the power consumption in an AC circuit. So that's all for today. Bye bye.